Hi, I'm Beth Ann Kelsch, and I've been the curator of the UNC Greensboro Betty H. Carter Women Veterans Historical Project since 2008. Thank you for attending this year's luncheon and celebrating the first 20 years of the Women Veterans Historical Project. The project was established at UNCG Libraries in 1998 to document the contributions of women in the United States military and related service organizations. Through a program of active collecting and outreach, the WVHP has deepened our understanding of the cultural, social, and military changes in American society and raised the visibility of its holdings. The WVHP is nationally known for its active oral history program of women veterans from World War II to the current conflicts in the War on Terror. In recent years, the collecting focus has been on UNCG alumni, student and faculty veterans, as well as women in the Triad area. With strong donor support, we have also been able to interview women across the state. In this video, you will hear about the history of the project and from women veterans who will reflect upon the importance of the WVHP. Thank you for all your generous support of the Women Veterans Historical Project. Can you talk about how the project was founded?
Well, it began, let's say, in 1997. 1997, I began to see notices of veterans projects, World War II veterans projects. I thought it'd be great to have a project for women.
What do you find most interesting about or in the WVHP collections?
I love the letters, of course. I mean, I'm a paper person, so I love the letters. The stories that they told, as I've told you earlier, I could sit and cry through all of them.
I think those oral histories are so important because they're first person, they're basically original documents. I was a history major. I have always loved history, and I think that's just precious. I think those things are precious in the sense that their histories will live on, but I also love the artifacts that you have.
That individual touch in those scrapbooks where the women put together their pages and their timelines, it's just so fascinating. You can really connect. There's an intimacy with that connection.
Oh, I love looking at the women's uniforms. They've much improved, I really have, but I love looking at the uniforms throughout, since World War II up to present.
Well, I love everything being online. I mean, you can go online anytime, day or night. You can read the oral histories. You can look at the donated pictures, the documents, and it just, transports you to a different area, a different time, and it's really fascinating. And that to me is the very best part, other than the wonderful luncheons.
What made you decide to add your own oral history to the project?
Beth Ann told me to. Beth Ann told me to, and I had started talking to people a lot more in probably about the year or two prior to that about not just that I had served, but what serving had really meant to me. So when given the opportunity to kind of discuss that with people, I took it. Glad that I did.
I was in the position to be involved in a major decision that helped the military change the roles that women had up until about 1975. And I wanted to tell that story to my hometown folks and have it available for researchers in North Carolina.
It's interesting looking at it as one big gulp, and just cruise along the timeline and then have memories come back. And I have so many good memories that an opportunity to talk about them and relive them and feel them again is always a good thing.
Why does the WVHP matter to you?
It matters because I know women's voices in the military have been hidden, ignored, overlooked, and forgotten. in many ways. And so as a veteran, it's really great to know that women's voices are being heard again, or maybe for the first time.
I think it's just really important to keep track of all women's history, and the history of women serving in the military, I think, is critical. It gets lost in the shuffle of a lot of other noise and commotion that goes on year to year or decade to decade. I just think it's way cool that UNCG is doing it.
It is a repository of the stories of women who have served in the military in these here United States. It matters to me because it's a story that often goes untold and unrecognized, simply because so few women actually serve. It's the women who make it important. It's the people who contribute their stories, their memories, their archives, to complete a more fuller, richer picture of the experience of women in the United States military.
Mainly because I think we're not going to be remembered in history books, especially with the women's part in it. What you people are doing is going to keep us, they'll be able to find us.
In 200 years or 100 years, when some researcher comes through here and goes, I can't believe they had to do that. Did they really have to starch their uniforms? But they'll have firsthand stories about what really happened, and I think that is what the archive is doing. It's saving the history for future generations.
As I worked with the military for 35 years, I deployed with them, I worked overseas with them stateside. On deployments, we slept in the same tents, we ate in the mess halls, and we worked side by side. But still, I was never really truly felt a real part of the military. I was always the civilian Red Cross lady of the year. They appreciated what we did, they were glad we were there, but I wasn't a real part. In the Women's Veterans Project, I feel a real part of the group, and that's the part that I really like.
I think the project is wonderful, and I hope that young men and women who are coming to school will help to keep it going and donate their time, their efforts, and if they have any.
The important part of a user's role in this type of collection is to make sure that there's some type of financial return made, and that's not begging, that's just saying that that's how we work, that's how the whole thing works.
If you're out there eating lunch, whether you've got the spoon right up to your mouth, contact Beth Ann and get your interview done, because it is so important to keep our stories alive, for not only for ourselves but for future generations.
We, the women who served in the military, are a select and distinct and a special and unique group of women. And our stories are important because we play a role across the time period, some serving before women were allowed, and others today that are serving in high intensity, dangerous career fields, putting their lives on the line with every one of their male counterparts. So that scope is important to be recorded, and your story is just as important no matter where in that scope you fall. You wore a uniform for no matter how long you wore it with pride, you served. We need to have you documented.